Another one of our former Legion members, Vincent George Lafranier, was born December 9th, 1923. He was raised in Timmins, Ontario. He had 4 brothers and 1 sister. Of the 5 brothers, 4 served overseas, 2 in the Air Force and 2 in the Armed Forces. Vince graduated from Timmins High and Vocational School in the spring of '42. Vince was anxious to join his 3 older brothers, in particular the oldest, Justin, who had already joined the Air Force and was serving overseas as a mechanic. He took the train from Timmins to North Bay to enlist in the Air Force without his parents' knowledge. He was called up later in 1942 to begin his training. He earned his wings at Borden, Ontario, before being sent to Jarvis, Ontario, to train as a bomber aimer. This was followed by training in St. John's, Quebec, to be an air gunner. Aircraft training primarily took place in an Anson twin-engine airplane. He attended the officers' school, graduating as a commissioned pilot officer in July of 1943. He was shipped overseas in August '43 to continue air training at Halfpenny Green Air Base in England. In May of 1944, he joined No. 420 Snow Owl Squadron of the RCAF as a bomber aimer operating from Tholth Hope Air Base in northern England. There he was crewed up with 6 others, most notably a fellow pilot officer from Sunridge, Ontario, who piloted the aircraft. They trained as a crew on the Halifax Mark III for 3 weeks in May before making their first of what would be 29 raids together as a crew. Their first sortie was the night of the invasion of Europe. They took off at 23:59 on June 5th, 1944, bombing Horelgath. Their total flying time was 4 hours and 45 minutes. They were told by the officer who provided the briefing details of the raid that there would be considerable activity in the channel tonight. He said they had no idea D-Day was underway until the return trip over the channel, when they could see thousands of ships of all sizes. Then they knew that the invasion had started. On the evening of August 16th, their squadron joined up with over 300 aircraft for a bombing raid on the submarine pens at Kiel, northern Germany. Total flying time was 5 hours and 5 minutes. On their return leg, at approximately 45 minutes from home, flying over the North Sea, they collided with another aircraft flying in the opposite direction. The pilot saw the plane at the last second, raised his arm to protect his eyes as the airplane hit them, opening the top of the cockpit and hitting the 2 inside propellers. The pilot's arm was broken and he was cut badly. The Halifax aircraft had only 1 pilot. However, there were times when assistance was required by the pilot, and this role was handled by Vince. The pilot remained in his seat, and with the assistance of Vincent, the navigator, they managed to safely land the aircraft at Carnaby, an emergency air base on the coast of England. They did so with 2 of the 4 engines operating. They were approximately 150 miles off course. The pilot returned home to Sunridge, and the remaining crewmen were reassigned. At that time, a crew was required to fly 30 missions before they can return home. Vince was reassigned as a spare and did not fly again until October 14th, 1944. He completed 6 more sorties with different crews through to November 6th. He was subsequently promoted to flying officer. In February, he was assigned as a bombing instructor through June 20th of 1945. Air bombing instruction was on the famous Lancaster bomber. Vince continued in an administrative role until being shipped home in October of 1945. In all, Vince completed 35 missions. Vince himself said he believed that to survive that many raids alive was pure luck. All of his brothers returned home as well. Vince married Margaret MacDonald of Timmins, his childhood sweetheart, and they settled in Kirkland Lake in 1950, where they raised 4 sons. Vince was very active in the community, serving on town council as a member of Legion Branch 87, where he held numerous posts including president and district commander for many years. He was a proud Canadian, a proud veteran, and a proud father. As his family, we're grateful for his service to his country, his community, and to his family. May he rest in peace. We will remember him.